Ladies and gentlemen, PDC Media Day ahead of the World Championships. A fire alarm has just gone off, and I can only imagine that this man had something to do with it. Former world champion Roberto Cross. Crossy, how you doing, my son?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Yeah, that fire alarm, it'll give a paracetamol and headache. That's no good.
How you been keeping though? You all right? Life all right? Treating you well?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. Trying to get a bit of enthusiasm back for it. Missed the Grand Slam last week and stuff.
Did it hurt missing the slam last week, mate? Because it was one hell of a tournament. Did you catch any of it, or did you completely just block it out?
Nah, sort of. I don't. I'm not one to watch darts. I know the boy has them on at home, and he's always telling me scores. Someone might actually watch last week was Beau Greaves. Group stages. I thought it was going to be interesting. I thought she done incredibly well. She held herself well together. Missed a few match starts here and there, but yeah, she's definitely one. She's definitely sort of here to stay, and she's going to win games, mate. Easy.
Well, you say that. Obviously, she can be in the World Championships this year at Alexandre Palace. How far do you really think that she can go? What's her ceiling? Because, we're seeing in her play, and there's getting question marks of potential major winner. There's question marks of Premier League as well, even though she doesn't have a tour card. Well, she will go into 2026. What do you think her actual ceiling is, Crossy?
I think the game's limitless. I can remember SAP when they sponsored me years ago. She done an event in Frankfurt with me, and she hit 5 180s on the bounce. So she's always been talented. I think she's fully settled on that women's series and the Dev Tour and even the Challenge Tour. She's going to take a bit of time just to settle, I believe. I think we watched that with the match starts, what she missed against Michael the other day. I don't know, she'd do that a few more times, and if she qualifies for stuff, I don't think that's going to happen every single week, and I wouldn't put it past her, to go deep in these tournaments.
Well, you think about obviously how close it was between her and Gary and her and Michael. She beat you, Crossy, easily. I mean,
The way I'm playing at the minute, I'll be honest with you. Peter Rabbit will beat me at the minute, son.
mate, is it close to 3 months? You haven't been really on a competitive board since the last couple of sort of like pro tours and whatnot.
You're trying to wind me up in this interview.
No, I'm obviously you're a good pal of mine, mate. But I've got to ask you the questions. That's my job. How is the world's prep going? What are you doing to sort of get your eye back in? How much time are you putting on the board?
I'll have a different prep. I always have the same prep for the World Championships. I'll go back to Hastings and I'll run probably 4 hours a day with a couple of friends of mine down there. They always take their time out, go and see them, and that only leaves me sort of 70 some odd miles from London then, to go back. So I'll actually go away. I won't be at home, and I'll be fully focused on that World Championships, getting myself ready. So I think if I do that, look, I think I'll be great. I'll be great at the World Championship.
You've not really made it into many like latter rounds in any majors this year, and I hate to say that word like that, especially off the back of what you just said. I'm not picking holes in you. Do you think that's?
I'm only playing.
Yeah, but you know how much respect I've got for you at the same time. But job's a job. But with all of the players that are going to be in it now from all over the world, and the structure and the format of going in at the first round, it's so unpredictable. But if you get a bit of momentum, do you reckon you could get to those latter rounds, your quarterfinals and your semis again?
Yeah, 100% believe so. I do believe, like I said, that prep will be different. It'll be something different what I've done to all year. I've won it before. I know what it takes to win it, So I'm never 100% out of it. And let's be honest, for me to win a tournament, you look at the start of the year, I think I lost in Bahrain on whatever date, early January, for instance, and I probably averaged about 78, and then the following week I went and won the Dutch. So, I'm not one. It's always nice to be playing with form and knowing that your game's in a good place, but I'm not one to sort of rely on that. I'm a bit spontaneous, I suppose, So, but that prep will be very important to me, sort of going in,
Do you ever feel a big weight on your shoulders with you being former world champion, winning it on debut at Ali Pali? Like you go into these, like it's kind of like an expectance from people for you to get into those latter rounds and reach either in a final. Do you ever feel sort of like the weight of the darting world on you a little bit at any points?
Nah, not really. I think the only time I really felt the weight of darts and was obviously being world champion. You know, that whole year there, it sort of changed stuff. It was difficult. It was different to whatever I experienced in life at the time. You know. And yeah, I probably come out for that next year, and I didn't play my best stuff because it was still getting used to it and still sort of trying to adapt to a different lifestyle. Really, I'm only an old sort of normal kiddie, really. You know, used to go to work and come home and put your kids to bed. Now all of a sudden you're on TV, sort of at the time. So yeah, I'm very grateful to the game what it's given me. But yeah, that was the only year what I've really felt like that. You know, this year I've never been one to worry about rankings and other stuff. You know, I've been very fortunate. I think most of the time I've been in the top 10. Obviously, I'm out of that at the minute. I think I had a big slump, maybe just through COVID or whatever, and I dropped out then. And then all of a sudden, I think 18 months, 2 years later, I was number 4 in the world. You know, so there's no worries. It's just trying to get that momentum and get that sort of. I need to get a routine. And I need to get my head down and I need to work a bit harder. And look, I can understand if I'm not pouring in 110% into it and results are bad, then I get it, you know. I wouldn't say it's an excuse, but if I was giving it my best and I was playing the way I've played in the last 3 months, then I personally think I need to look for a job change, you know.
What, would you go back to being Sparky or not?
Nah, I'm going to go on job seekers allowance. Why not?
Well, you come and work with me at talkSPORT.
I don't know. You never get a word in edgeways with me. You know that. I love a chat.
No, I know,
I love
yeah.
a chat.
The £1 million, mate. How does that sound when that got announced? A lot of people, it's not all about money, but it must be a huge motivator here in £1 million prize fund.
I think it's incredible. You know, don't get me wrong. You hear a lot of interviews at the minute and stuff. What I see on my Twitter about it's too much and other stuff or whatever. But look, it's the World Championships, and unless you've won that world title, you know, the pinnacle of the game, and that's pretty much what it is. You know, I think you could have one world title and the respect what you get off that compared to winning probably all the others. There's a difference, you know, between them. But yeah, £1 million, obviously. It'd be nice to go in there and win that million, yeah, and be the first person to pick that kind of prize money up, you know. But get the prep right and other stuff, and I'm definitely gonna be on it and ready for that one.
You told me a couple of months ago that you've been struggling for motivation. You obviously spoken about prep and whatnot. Are you still struggling for motivation at the moment?
I think look, I'm in the gym. I'm doing a little bit now. I'm trying to get myself a little bit fitter. Try and build my core up again, you know. And sometimes, you know, it just I wouldn't say I was at the best point of my life or the best sort of time at the minute. But I wouldn't say I was as bad as what I was maybe a month ago, you know. So it has changed, and getting in the gym, freshening my head up and stuff, and trying to get that motivation and other stuff, and not feeling lazy and sort of flat, you know. So yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working hard to get it right, and if I get it right, then yeah, watch out, everything will be great.
There was a piece that I read in the written press a couple of weeks ago. I think it was after we saw each other at that fishing event, off the back of might have just been off the back of the match play. Where I think you said something on the line as you don't know how long you're going to be in darts for. I mean, Crossy, you're still young. Retirement hasn't crossed your mind, has it?
I think look, if I didn't feel that I could compete at the best level what I can do, then yeah, why would I want to go out and get smashed every week for even 80 grand? Because I'm not going to enjoy that. It just won't do my head no good, you know. So yeah, I like to win, and or at least I like to play well, you know. Retirement ain't an option. Retirement ain't an option. It's definitely not at the minute, you know. But yeah, who knows, you know? If you push all the buttons and it's not good enough, then if you're not good enough, you know, you've got to do something else, haven't you? You know, but it ain't nowhere near that at the minute. Nowhere near that at the minute.